That was so fucking uncomfortable. What am I doing?
Mate, we are in model boot camp. We definitely need to do something about your backsack and crack and maybe a couple of push-ups too.
It's called Nuremberg. It's where they had the Nuremberg trials.
Taylor Swift is not coming for one NFL game.
You seriously don't take your shoes off on the plane?
Mate, that is disgusting.
Do Turak have cinemas?
We have to strip you down to your jocks and not those cheap cotton on things you're wearing. I want to see some Calvin Kleins.
What have I got on?
Oh my God.
What? What are you laughing at?
You're f***ed. Good luck. Good luck to all of us. Okay, first things first, I want to swap spots.
Why?
Because I'm just not liking this angle for me when I'm watching the podcast back. So come on,
Why?
quick, just don't argue with us.
No, why? I'm not moving
Because
until
I
you
don't
tell
like,
me why.
I've decided that I have a side. I'm 35 in a fortnight and I've decided that I'm looking haggard on the right side. So we're going to swap so the camera angle hits my left side.
But why?
Because I don't like how I look. I just told you that. Now get up.
You got to give me a
Come on.
reason. I'm not fucking moving.
Oh, because I can't get my nose job until November. My nose is tilting in the wrong direction.
You're kidding.
Move over. Take your coffee with you.
Oh, sit down in that water.
That's right.
Yeah.
We've shared germs.
You know what? Like, in all seriousness,
Mm-hmm.
and this is unbelievable that you're worried about your nose or whatever.
Mm.
Like, I've been to a specialist and genuinely need a nose reconstruction.
I don't think you need a specialist to
and
tell you
won't,
that.
And won't get it.
I don't think you need a specialist to
Here
tell
you
you
are just doing it out of choice.
Now,
Can you do November, though? Isn't that when the races are on? Isn't that like your time to...
Well, exactly. So this is why we're going to have to swap sides until the foreseeable future. And I quite like this left side of the table. It's very comfy. I could get used to this. And to be honest, for those who are actually watching the show and they can see the decorative kind of objects in the background, whether it be the plant, the light, you needed all the help you can get, mate. You were looking a bit boring over here with your plain background and your plain outfits.
Was I?
So allow me to carry this side. Next week, I'll come in full sparkles. Hey, speaking of full sparkles, we have just seen an epic Coachella, which I know that you wouldn't have clocked much of at all, but Justin Bieber headlined. And what was Justin Bieber wearing?
I missed that.
Pimple patches that he has done in collaboration with his wife, Hailey.
What's he got pimples for?
Remember my little star that you
Yeah.
took the piss out of me a fortnight ago? Trending everywhere. I was ahead of the curve. So
Why is he wearing pimple patches purely for business, commercial interests? Or
Well,
did he have pimples?
I think that maybe poor old Jazzy Biebs has been susceptible to the pimples in the past, but also like I obviously went and bought them straight away because as I've always said on the show, I'm a marketer's dream.
Did it work?
I haven't bought them yet. They haven't arrived yet.
No,
Sorry,
when you
I've bought them,
when you had your
Oh, yeah, that works.
stupid-looking pimple patch on.
Yeah. Anyway, there's a lot going on in our world at the moment. And so as we record the show today, we are in the middle of Coachella week 1 and 2, which has blown up my world. So you've got every single celebrity watching every single pop star in the world, more or less, there. The outfits, the glamour, the drinking, the partying, the fun, the activations, whether it be Hailey Bieber Road, Kendall Jenner 818. These words mean nothing to you. You're staring at me like I'm speaking I'm speaking a foreign language. But anyway, it's been a big week.
Has it?
Yeah, fortnight. Really big fortnight and a lot going on in pop culture. But what about you? What's going on at your end? Don't tell me about your kids.
You don't know about my kids?
Not particularly.
Oh. I'm just sort of blown away a little bit at the moment because
overwhelmed.
I had no idea that Coachella was on.
You've been overwhelmed. Surely
So-
you like Justin Bieber.
What's he sing? Give me a song of his.
And I was like, baby, baby, baby. Ooh.
I feel like I need to be a teenage
What about that
girl
one that's like, it's too
listen to
late
it.
to say sorry. Is that how it goes? I'm missing more than just your body.
Oh, God, I know the song, but I don't really have too much
He's an
interest
icon.
in-
He's sold more tickets
No, he's got-
than any other performing artist in Coachella
What?
history. And he
Coachella.
has generated
Has
more
Taylor
revenue.
Has Taylor Swift ever performed at Coachella?
Well, the Swiftie, Eva, who runs our socials, I'm going to look to her. No, she's never done it. Okay, so
Yeah,
no.
yeah.
But he's generated more income for himself and for the festival. He's sold more merch than anyone ever, and he's broken essentially every Coachella record. So if you're going to headline, he's done it the right way.
I think he's got style, and I love how he goes about it, but I had no idea that Coachella was on. I was more interested in Gout running a sub-20 200-metre at the Australian Championships.
I
the
did
other
also
week.
see that. I was actually
pretty
across
cool.
that. I'm not going to pretend I
But
wasn't.
how good is Australian athletics at the moment? Not that you'll care, but we've got Gout, Lockie Kennedy, who just run under 10 seconds as well, run Australia's second fastest time of all time. We're 6 years out from the Olympics in Brisbane. I was about to say, aren't we Com Games like soon? Com Games soon, but Commonwealth Bank's just jumped on board as the major partner for the Olympics as well. I feel like we're going through a bit of a moment like when we were growing up that, I don't know if you remember Sydney, but Sydney's a pretty iconic moment in Australia's history. And I feel like some of these athletes are going to be remembered like Kathy Freeman.
I feel like there was a lot. I personally like to see as somebody who is maybe in watching sport more from the spectacle and the entertainment perspective, like the Olympics or the Com Games, I like to see that there's like some athletes outside of like, for me, growing up, my mind always goes to swimmers. I feel like Aussies always perform so well in the pool, exactly. Grant Hackett, etc. So you always remember those guys because that's who we grew up with, and the Aussies were always so powerful in the pool.
Yeah.
But not to say they haven't been, Ariane Titmus and the rest of the crew who have been swimming over the past few years and made our country so proud. Exactly right. Cody Simpson, transition, singer into swimming.
Emma McKeon's I think the number one Australian medal, or has she got the most Olympic swimming medals ever or something? Something crazy.
This is your world.
Yeah.
But regardless, I'm pumped. So, that's your world. But guess what's coming up? What do I do for work? Do you know?
Well, you styled me the other day.
I did style you the other day.
Yeah.
But generally speaking, people refer to me as a celebrity fashion stylist and commentator. And where does a celebrity fashion
stylist? Did you give
stylist
yourself that own
commentator
label? Is that the
over
label
years,
you gave yourself?
Do you know where my work essentially spearheads into is a little week in May called Australian Fashion Week. So whether you're a stylist, a photographer, a hair and makeup artist, a model, a designer, anyone who works in the larger Australian creative industry, all comes together and works on 1 week of Australian Fashion Week.
That Australian Fashion Week, is that bigger than the Melbourne Fashion Week?
So Australian Fashion Week is for industry, whereas Melbourne Fashion Festival is for consumers. So Melbourne Fashion Festival is a ticketed event where you or I could buy a ticket, go to the show, and see clothing that is in store now.
Yeah.
So it's actually quite a good commercial opportunity for brands because when you see something coming down the runway, the person in the audience can just buy it straight away, go into DJs and buy it off the floor.
Yeah.
Whereas Australian Fashion Week is showing collections that won't release for 6 months.
So if there's one show you'd want to go to at Australian Fashion Week, what would that be?
I love Christian Kimber. It's a menswear brand I've been wearing heaps recently, and menswear designers are few and far between,
Where's he from?
especially at Australian Fashion Week. He's from Melbourne.
Yeah.
So he's showing. And then a designer that I've worked with for essentially my entire career called Tony Matuszewski. He has been away from Australian Fashion Week for a long time. He is another unicorn. He shows in Paris.
Yeah.
So for him to come back to Australia and show at Australian Fashion Week on home soil, the origins of his brand is actually really exciting for our industry and for the buyers as well, because it gives them an opportunity to come and see him on home soil.
Who's like the Devil Wears Prada?
Yeah.
Who's that after?
Anna Wintour.
Anna Wintour.
Yeah.
She's like the godmother of fashion.
Yeah.
Who's the godfather of Australian fashion?
Well, the editor-in-chief of Australian Vogue is a woman called Christine Centenera. The Anna Wintour character in The Devil Wears Prada is meant to be the editor-in-chief of a magazine called Runway, which is meant to be based on Vogue.
Yeah.
So if it was to go literal, Christine Centenera would be that character. I've not had the pleasure of meeting Christine Centenera, but I think she is fucking chic, and I would actually love to meet her, but I'm not sure if she's nice or not, but she seems pretty fabulous on social media. So shout out CC if you're listening. Get on No Utes in the Valet.
Oh, we should get her on.
Talk all things fashion and footy.
Let's get her on.
Breaking down those boundaries.
And also, The Devil Wears Prada 2 comes out this year.
Yeah, it comes out in like 2 weeks. It comes out actually on my birthday.
We're going to gold class for it, or are you taking Mitch?
Well, mate, I know it's your favourite movie.
You taking me or Mitch?
So you want me to take you over Mitch?
Well, we can go together. We can double date it.
So I want to talk to you.
Okay, that's not happening, Angus.
I'm like skimming over. I'm scared. I've been snooking.
No, we'll gold class it.
We can go together.
Yeah.
We can absolutely gold class it. Legs up, blankies, popcorn, you name it.
Do Toorak have cinemas?
No, South Yarra. So Australian Fashion Week has moved to the Sydney Harbour for the first time ever. So all the shows are at the Museum of Contemporary Art in Sydney. So
been there.
Fashion designers will be presenting their collections and models will be walking down the runway with the green and yellow fairies, the beautiful blue water, the opera house all in the background. So to be honest, in comparison
which side is it on?
The fashion. It's on, so you look into the opera house and Circular Quay.
Yeah.
So you're kind of looking from the rocks and into Circular Quay down there. Monumental occasion for anyone, whether it be an artist or a designer. But where this sets Australia apart is really, there is no more iconic landscape to me than the Sydney Harbour. It is without question one of the most iconic backdrops in the world. So for these designers to be showing in front of the Sydney Opera House and in this location will not only be a monumental achievement for them personally, but the impressions that this will create, impressions being views of media globally because of that, will be crazy. So Australian Fashion Week alone last year generated 18 million impressions for Australian designers. Yeah. And that was in an event venue where the shows had been for the past 29 years. So Australian Fashion Week enters its 30th year, new location, iconic location. So the impressions with the extreme talent of the Australian designers against the most iconic backdrop within this country, if not the world. I can't wait to see how global this year really gets
Could
taken.
you, anywhere else in the world, where would you have it? Like Australia, I'm thinking you could have it in front of Uluru.
I mean, to be honest, the only other thing that I can think is as iconic that I've seen in my career is Yves Saint Laurent, which is now called Saint Laurent. They showed in front of the Eiffel Tower.
Oh, yeah?
And then there was a show that Fendi did a little while back, which is an Italian brand, and they showed in front of the Trevi Fountain in Rome, and they walked along the water. So
Actually,
I think
I did see that.
Did you really?
Yeah, it popped up on my
so,
whenever it happened.
Yeah,
I
it was a few years ago now.
Yeah.
So if not longer. So I feel like just shows that Australia is no longer a junior burger in the industry, but a global leader to be taken seriously. And I'm really proud of our designers and everyone working on Australian Fashion Week.
So obviously you have fashion. There are people walking down the runway referred to as models.
Yeah.
What's it take to be a catwalk model?
Why are you asking? Oh, no. So what does it take to be a catwalk model? We have to be tall,
Yeah.
generally speaking.
Tick.
And you have to be confident because at the end of the day,
Tick.
you have a responsibility to be selling clothes to the buyers, essentially, who are sitting there front row coming to see the collections.
Yeah.
You have to be a Norm Smith medalist who may have been... who's played at a multitude of football clubs. No, why are you asking? Why, you got some ideas?
No, I'm just wondering, could someone like me do it?
If history was to show anything, we've seen AFL players walk down runways multiple times. We just saw Isaac Quaynor walk at Melbourne Fashion Festival
That's Melbourne,
February
though.
just
Like,
gone.
we're talking about a global backdrop in
Mate,
Sydney.
Melbourne Fashion Festival's got absolutely nothing on Australian Fashion
That's
Week.
what I'm talking about.
If Isaac Quaynor thinks he can walk at Melbourne Fashion Festival, then I'd like to set him the challenge of walking against that iconic Australian backdrop at Australian Fashion Week. But in all seriousness, mate, I could actually make this happen.
No.
No, we're on the record now. If you are genuinely interested, I could go through my phone now, flick through a few contacts, and actually potentially set up an opportunity in where we could get you walking at Australian Fashion Week. So Christian Kimber, the brand that I was just talking about, is like my favorite Australian menswear brand right now.
Yeah.
Should we get them on the blower and see if they'll let you walk in their show?
I don't know about that.
Come on.
What would I...
Show Isaac Quaynor what you're made of.
If I'm walking, what do I need to do?
Well, put one foot in front of the other, mate. It's not that hard. You've probably been doing it since you were 2.5.
Yeah, but there's a walk to it and a look.
Do you know what?
What?
I actually don't even think there's any point in me telling you. I think what's better is you have to show me. And then we can critique it.
Show you like a catwalk?
Show me like a catwalk. We're going to leave the studio right now. We're going to go into the corridor. No, you're going to do it. Don't be shy, mate. There's only 20 people sitting out there. You've got to sit and do it in front of you've got to stand and do it in front of 200. Come on, let's go.
Oh, God.
Come on. Okay. And action. Slower. More blasé. There we go. Look at that hand action. Throw a wink to the people on your right. Blow them a kiss.
I should get a little bit sweaty there.
I was waiting for you to start. Do you know what? I will say this. I can see why you were such a good footballer because you actually, you react well to coaching, shall I say. You took up my advice quite well and you implemented it very quickly. So I think that there might be a career here for you, but what would have to happen from here is we'll have to get you representation. So don't worry, mate. I'm happy to do it and I only take 20 cents on the dollar. So that's all right. So I can represent you. We'll do some digitals, which means we have to strip you down to your jocks and not those cheap cotton on things you're wearing. I want to see some Calvin Kleins.
What have I got on?
Do a couple of push-ups as well. I already clocked cotton ons.
Yeah, cotton ons.
Correct. Mate, I've got eyes all over it. Don't you worry. And I got to strip you down to your jocks and we're going to get a few digitals of you deadpan and then off we go. Next stop, Paris.
What? Because if I was
my
doing the
phone,
runway...
hold on, my phone's bright. My phone. Oh my fucking God.
What?
Oh my God.
What? What are you laughing at?
What are you doing Monday at 2:30?
Monday, 2:30. Probably meant to be looking after my kids, but...
Don't worry about them. Because you have to be in Melbourne for a runway fitting for the Christian Kimber show at Australian Fashion Week to walk at Australian Fashion. Look at my phone. No. Here. No, I don't trust you with those slippery fingers.
I'm not going to do anything.
Mate.
Let me read it.
Isaac in. Yep. 2:30. You're on. Call you tomorrow. Oh my God.
That has happened. I'm a bit nervous
That has happened in real time as we're sitting here, mate. This is going to be so funny. I mean, look,
I don't know how funny it'll be.
by the way, let me explain how the industry works.
You know I'm getting absolutely destroyed by all my friends.
Well, don't worry, mate. You were getting destroyed before this anyway. And let me explain how it works for those who don't understand. So this is I can't believe this is so classic. So I hope everybody listening, watching, whatever, sign up and follow along for the journey, because this is going to be something that we're going to have to document over a couple of episodes, because this was just meant to be a bit of a talk about Australian fashion week.
If I do this, am I getting paid?
No, mate, you don't get paid. It's the fashion industry. Why do you think I'm doing this podcast? And then alternate source of revenue.
I'm not losing any weight.
So how this will work, for those who don't know, is you will go to something called a fitting.
Yeah.
So you are not confirmed to be on the runway yet. Like any other model who is in this cutthroat industry of fashion, you will show up.
Yeah.
They will then bring a range of clothing that they think will work for your kind of vibe and, of course, your build as well.
Yeah.
And so then you'll kind of go through the fitting. They'll try on different outfits. And then, which is the shittest part about the industry, especially for the models, is you kind of have to, you're sweating overnight. You're like, am I going to get this gig? Am I not? Like, what am I going to do here?
You know the only thing that's the difference between me and a model?
What's that? You can't walk.
No, is they're sweating to get the gig. I'll be sweating to hope they don't give me the gig.
All right, it starts today, mate. We are in model boot camp. We are in Australian Fashion Week boot camp. I'm thinking we run. I'm thinking we salad. I'm thinking we push up. I'm thinking we, what else? Well, we definitely need to do something about your back sack and crack, and maybe a couple of push-ups too.
So we're starting a new game on this podcast. We've got a few different games we're liking to throw in. This one's called Red Flag, Green Flag.
Quite enjoying these games, actually.
Well, I was thinking, that's quite difficult to say. Red flag, green flag, say it.
It won't be as hard as walking on the Australian Fashion Week catwalk.
No, that'd be
So red flag, green flag. Quick fire hypotheticals where we declare each trait or behaviour a red flag or a green light.
I've got a few for you, and I feel like your answers would be very different to my answers in a lot of these.
Okay.
But I've got 5, and all I have you to say is red flag or green flag. But then you can.
Do I have to explain why after?
You can give an explanation.
Yeah.
after,
Okay. Yeah.
And then I might even throw in my 2 cents worth. So the first one is taking your shoes off on a flight.
Oh, red flag. No way would I take my shoes off on a flight and walk around barefoot. Are you kidding?
That's the first thing I do when I get on a plane.
Planes are filthy.
No. What? You lick the bottom of your feet, do you?
Well, do you want to trod through other people's random piss barefoot in that tiny toilet?
That's fine.
No, it's not fine. That is disgusting.
You seriously don't take your shoes off on the plane?
Mate, I've been on one flight with you and I never want to go on another one again.
What, in first class you don't take your shoes off?
I don't care if I'm on a private plane. I'm not getting in any public toilet with no shoes on.
Double dipping.
What's that again?
When, say you're eating, say you're eating a wedge.
Oh, no. I mean,
and then you double dip again.
I'm going to say green flag because I do it all the time.
Oh, seriously?
I do it all the time.
I thought you'd be with me on the first 2.
Wait, were you saying red flag or green flag for double dipping?
I'm saying big red flag. Never double dip.
But if you buy a little sausage roll and you're halfway down and you need more sauce, you just got to go in for more sauce.
No, you got to get the right amount of sauce the first dip.
But then if you're dipping your dunk has got to be very strategic. You've got to go in sideways, not vertical.
Yeah, you go in on top, boom.
Yeah, that way. Okay,
yeah.
fine. Fine. Look, everyone's going to fucking judge me. I double dip all the time. Yeah. So anyone who has had dinner with me and will continue to have dinner with me, you're going to have to get over it.
Wearing our boots in public?
Green flag. But
Hang on. Are you not a fashion stylist? There's no way I'd wear Ugg boots in...
Hear me out. There are scenarios in which everything is acceptable. I wear Ugg boots to Pilates because it's very like Kendall Jenner, LA Pilates girlies vibes.
You're in Melbourne.
Yeah, it gets bloody cold in Melbourne in the winter.
I actually can't believe this.
Green flag. My Pilates girlies who are listening, green flags all the way. Kendall Jenner, Hailey Bieber, eat your heart out.
We're the opposites on all these.
Well, do you know what? We're the opposites on a lot of things.
Ordering coffee with sugar.
Red flag. I don't ever have
red
sugar
flag.
in my coffee.
You don't add sugar to your coffee.
No, I just drink my coffee just like plain, actually. Nothing, no milk either.
I feel like we might be different on this one. Photobombing in public.
Red flag. I'm not photobombing anyone in public.
Yeah, either.
For someone with the bravado that you have, when you get to know you really well, you are actually can be quite a modest person in terms of like you don't love the spotlight on yourself, especially when like I've found anyway when I've been with you in like a football realm, you're very generous with your time with fans, but you're very humble when they approach you, which I've never told you that actually even off mic. So
that's nice.
Anyway, I think it's a very endearing quality of yours because it's pretty much the only time I find you endearing.
I possibly ham it up when I'm doing certain parts of my employment. But yes, I am quite, if you know me deeply.
No, very much so. You're very much like that. So I want to know, I'm loving these Seen, Heards or Reds because we're giving each other these really great recommendations, and we've had some great feedback from our audience as well who are actually coming back and taking some of our tips. Your reading has definitely had more positive feedback than my YouTube viewing. I don't think that the real history of Queen Victoria really sat that well.
I didn't get to it either.
So I'm gonna,
I tried.
Not in Melania, that fell fucking flat. So I'm going to handball it back to you because you seem to have the good tips and mine aren't as hot.
Yeah. So I, last night, been wanting to watch this movie for a good 3 or 4 months. I'm a big Russell Crowe fan. I heard him do...
Really?
I was listening to Joe Rogan, and he did a podcast with Joe Rogan. He was talking about all the different movies he's got coming up over the next 12 months because, as he said, you film and record at all different times, but they all get released. So he goes, I'm going to be getting released in 2026 in like 5 blockbusters, which is interesting. This came out at the end of 2025, and Nuremberg. I'm a big fan of modern history. Love war, and big fan of geopolitics as well. And Russell Crowe did Nuremberg.
Oh, the film's called Nuremberg.
It's called Nuremberg. It's where they had the Nuremberg trial. So at the end of World War II,
they
trialed 22 German officers or ranking men, whatever you'd say. And he was Hermann Göring, so second in charge to Hitler. Russell Crowe played, and he was unbelievable.
So where are we streaming this for everyone listening?
Apple TV.
And
I bought it off. And Rami Malek.
Oh, yeah, Rami Malek, yep. He's very good.
Russell Crowe and Rami, I reckon, are in my top 5 favourite actors of all time.
Rami Malek is actually one of my favourite Bond villains of all time.
How good is he?
He's epic. And did an amazing Freddie Mercury as well.
Unbelievable.
Okay, so give it to us out of 10, Nuremberg out of 10.
I'm going to say 8.5.
And we're streaming on Apple TV.
Apple TV.
Bang, there's my homework for the weekend. It
was awesome. 2.5 hour flick. Brilliant. Light the fire. Glass of wine. You'll very much enjoy it.
Okay.
Anyway, Remy plays an American psychiatrist, which he's brilliant at.
Okay, I'm going to get into it this weekend. I actually meant it this time. So, the questions are popping off. No Utes in the Valet is back, and I tell you what is back with No Utes in the Valet?
Yeah.
Our audience engagement. So, guys, we love you. Thank you so much for the support. We're so thrilled that you guys are loving what we're doing, and we're so thrilled that you guys are contributing in the way that you are because it makes our time together so much more fun. Doesn't it, Izzy?
It does.
Okay, exactly right. So, good answer. So, I picked up something from a listener called James this week, and I'm assuming this is for you because he has said there are suggestions the NFL game at the MCG in September could have halftime entertainment.
Yeah.
What act would you love to see? And which I actually love this. And he said, who's realistic?
Justin Bieber.
Oh, stop it.
After the top, off
That's
the top.
ridiculous. Covered in pimple patches.
If you're going to bring the NFL to town, you may as well bring the biggest artists with it. But I did hear a rumor possibly Taylor Swift was a chance to come back out to the MCG.
That is not true.
That is 100% true. Do you want me to Google it?
Taylor Swift is not coming for one NFL game. Is Travis Kelce playing?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, there might have been a slight possibility. Christ, when you're ready.
They joked. So the CEO of the NFL
and there
joked.
It is.
Taylor Swift.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Taylor Swift for the halftime entertainment. Which, it's a possibility.
Came out on...
She's a part of the NFL now.
That news was released on April the 1st, last I heard, which is
wasn't.
commonly referred to as April Fool's Day, and the jester sitting across from me fell for it.
In all seriousness,
she's not coming.
Who would you take?
I want an Aussie, and I want the amalgamation of the Americans and the Aussies coming together on home soil. Like, think iconic Australian performers. I would love to see even just covers of like an In Excess or something. Like really, really iconic.
You're a real AFL traditional head, aren't you?
I'm a rusted on AFL supporter, mate. I am a rusted on AFL.
Anyway,
do you know what would be epic?
What?
Cold Chisel.
No.
Why?
No, I just think get with what's happening.
Who sings Holy Grail?
Holy Grail is Hunters and Collectors.
There you go.
That could work.
Am I getting too bogan?
Yeah, probably.
Anyway, NFL hire us.
Yeah.
We're happy to book your halftime entertainment. Could be us, actually. Okay, next question.
Simone.
from Simone.
How do you handle notifications? Do you have none unread or do you have thousands?
No, I like to have none unread. I can't stand the red dots.
It depends what app.
Yeah, that's such a good call across what I call the core 4.
Yeah.
So phone, message, WhatsApp, email. I like to have none, but I mean...
So we're very close. My core 4, a phone, email, Google Maps, message.
Well, that's what happens when you live out of town.
Yeah. But phone's on the...
Okay, so how do you deal with notifications? All or none?
Phone, none. WhatsApp, none. Messages, none. Emails, try to get none. Anything else could be thousands.
You never reply to emails anyway, so I don't know how you get none.
I delete them.
Okay, and Tom, lastly, Zach Butters got into trouble for suggesting an umpire was getting paid.
Yeah.
What is the worst thing that you've said to an umpire? Hold on, I need to ask a preliminary question. Sorry, Tom, I'm interrupting your question. What do you mean do the umpires not get paid?
No. Suggesting the umpire was getting paid by someone else to make a bad call.
Oh my God.
So
I delete me off this podcast.
Effectively, like, fixing the game.
Oh, they're getting bribed.
Yeah.
Sorry, Tom. I've done you dirty.
But there's a miscommunication in the whole scenario, and it's probably been handled really poorly, that whole situation. Worst thing I said to an umpire, hard to remember, but
there's been so many.
The F's and C's used to get used a little bit.
So what would happen if the F's and C's
got
thrown around in this day and age?
No, the umpires are pretty good, and the umpires are on board with everything that's going on. They understand it's a high pressure situation, high pressure situation. And I would say more often than not, the umpires are on board with what's going on out there. There's a lot on the line. There's careers on the line at times. And the umpires are very good at discussing with players. The difficult thing now is the umpires wear microphones, so everything's recorded, which is hard for them, because the best umpires I had, and I'll name Ray Chamberlain as one of them, was he would have a back and forth with you, and then he'd tell you to pull your head in if you overstep the mark, which is what you want. Like I think that's the relationship that you need between player and officiators, that they understand when the mark's going to be crossed and they tell you to pull up. But I had many great discussions with umpires out there.
Well, speaking of players and officiators,
yeah,
I am now your officiator, my young Padawan, and you are my player, because we will be seeing you hopefully at Australian Fashion Week 2026. Everybody, come back in a fortnight, because this bloke is about to be stitched up.
And if you're just tuning in, two unlikely mates, celebrity stylist Elliot Garnaut and Norm Smith medalist Isaac Smith, are here to tell you what is what.
Hey, no Utes in the Valet.